做的应该是针对澳生做生涯规划，鉴定澳生适合走产业还是做研究。
一个是叫做辅导导师，用双轨制。当年我讲的是辅导导师的系统，你不一定是跟着我做研究，但是我可以告诉你，就像在剑桥的老师，你有没有去找谁？好，你的课程有没有下一步做什么？
鼓励研发人才反而落在国科会的肩上。哥伦布、爱因斯坦、吴大猷先生
made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just it's not my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. These are crazy people, and they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
All violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same, 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah. Well,
what does that say about our country?
Elsewhere too. We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
Is it possible to turn that temperature down at this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I say to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. We did it in 1 year, and I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, you know, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering, you know, it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you know, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous job," but that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight. We heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet.
This is M News,
镜新闻
Mirror of the World.
上午11点钟，欢迎您持续锁定镜新闻，我是黄玉婷。头条焦点带你来看到白宫记者会惊传枪响，现在美国当局也正在召开记者会说明，赶快一起来看。
We're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
President Trump, can we hear from the first lady about how impactful this was? Can we hear from her about?
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
One in the back, Right.
Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? You know, they can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, you know, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. We really do, but it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad you're okay.
好，那川普呢，在25号晚间是出席了这个华府的记者会。那当时呢，晚宴的途中是传出了枪响，第一时间赶紧的是撤离了多名的官员。他随后也发文表示，这个特勤局跟执法部门表现出色，自己也是非常安全的一个状态哦。而稍早白宫也有召开记者会，来听一下稍早的说明。
But we were, First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the President just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident, given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you. Director Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The President's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the president and the vice president that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual.
好，那可以听到这一名枪手呢，疑似是持这个非法的散弹枪来行凶。那好在第一时间，包括总统在内的多位内阁首长都已经全数的撤离。目前嫌犯已经落网了，但是到底动机为何？更多的详细资讯，我们要交给国际中心记者钟成杰带我们了解。
好，是的，主播就在美东时间周六晚间8点40分左右，华盛顿希尔顿饭店举行白宫记者联谊会晚宴，惊传枪响。当时，川普总统正准备上台发表年度演说，现场突然传出约5到8声的连续巨响，那全场2000多名宾客陷入极度恐慌。特勤局立即启动最高等级的维安，紧急将川普夫妇、副总统范斯夫妇以及多位内阁首长撤离。目前，川普总统一行人已经平安返回白宫，确定无恙，而涉案的凶嫌也在现场遭到制服逮捕。那根据最新掌握外电画面还有目击者说法，这起枪击案发生在2楼大宴会厅外的安检区。由于事发突然，现场包括多名政要、媒体高层以及一些好莱坞明星在内的2600多名嘉宾，第一时间纷纷躲在餐桌底下寻求遮蔽啊！现场可以说是杯盘狼藉。而在混乱当中，有一名相当英勇的特勤局干员，为了挡住嫌犯胸口中弹，所幸子弹被防弹衣挡下，他只有受到轻伤，并没有生命危险。而至于凶手的身份呢 ，FBI 证实是一名来自加州的30岁男子，他当时持有一把散弹枪，试图强行冲过最后一道安检门进入会场，随即遭到多名干员合力压制。事发大约半小时后，川普就在社群平台发文报平安，而且刚刚也已经在白宫召开记者会，说明整起枪击事件的始末。他语气强硬地感谢特勤局的雷霆反应，并盛赞执法人员才是真正的英雄。这起事件被视为自1981年雷根总统遇刺以来，华府最严重的维安漏洞。目前 FBI 与大都会警察局正针对嫌犯动机进行侦讯，以厘清这是一起孤狼式的政治暗杀企图，还是有后面的同伙。而原本要展现言论自由的媒体晚宴已经全面取消，华府周边也进驻国民兵加强戒备。不过川普刚刚宣布会在30天内重新举行这场参会，而且相当巧合的是，这次发生枪击案的希尔顿饭店刚好就是川普的政坛偶像前总统雷根45年前遇刺重伤之地，可以说是相当巧合。以上就是我目前掌握的最新讯息，把现场交还给主播。
好的，谢谢陈杰哦。那后续如果针对这个枪击案有更多的最新资讯，我们都会时刻为您掌握。这带来看到美伊和平谈判又出现变数了。美国总统川普今天宣布取消特使团原定要前往巴基斯坦与伊朗会谈的行程，并表示行程被取消不到10分钟，他就收到伊朗提出比原本更好的提案。但其实美方代表团取消行程前不久，伊朗外交部长阿拉奇就已经离开了巴基斯坦。而阿拉奇表示，巴基斯坦之行确实收获丰硕，也提出了结束战争的可行架构，只是不知道美方诚意如何。
美国伊朗第2轮谈判原定在本周末在巴基斯坦登场，不过现在说取消就取消。
We're not going to spend 15 hours in airplanes all the time going back and forth to be giving a document that was not good enough, and so we'll deal by telephone, and they can call us anytime they want.
又是打通电话来就好。川普总统宣称是因为美国握有所有筹码，让伊朗不得不乖乖听话。
Immediately when I canceled it, within 10 minutes we got a new paper that was much better.
What was on that paper, sir?
We talked about they will not have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple.
然而，伊朗外长阿拉奇早在前一晚就已经离开巴基斯坦前往阿曼。不过，他在社群发文中也提到，此行确实收获丰